Afternoon, good evening, good morning, sim fans, race fans, RC fans, Racing 393. So, I quite enjoy talking about motor racing, as you're probably aware, and radio controlled cars. And I kind of enjoy talking about F1, kind of the golden years, boring years, and this year's. I think it's interesting to, express views and allow for debate over what I think was good, and perhaps what someone else thinks wasn't so good. So, as you can see before you, we've got Ayrton Senna, and he is in a MP4-8, which was actually the car for the 1993 Formula One World Championship. Now, I do have some cheat notes, which I will have a look at because I can't remember all this. So, the reason I've got this for my next video is ASR Formula have done an update to the MP4-8, their 1993 McLaren, which we'll go into detail in a second. So let's go through some bits and pieces on this car. If you could think back to 1993, McLaren were sponsored, one of their partners was TAG, and one of the advantages of this particular car was the technology with the electronics, which was all sort of singing and dancing back in those days. We had things like semi-automatic gearboxes, fully automatic gearboxes, traction control, active ride, two-way telemetry. So it was quite a novelty to have telemetry going to the car and back. For the engineers back in the pits, I'm assuming that's what that means, to keep an eye on the car whilst it was out on track. Whereas nowadays, 2022, the telemetry can be sent worldwide, so people can be sat in the office or sat at home and can see what the car's actually doing whilst live while it's going around the track, which is we're kind of used to it now, but back in 1993 it was a new thing. This particular car was powered by a 3.5 litre Ford powered HB07 V8 engine, and we'll have a look at that in a second as well. You can see on the picture here, it was one of the first McLarens that had barge boards, which is those bits you can see just before where the air intake radiators are. That was a bit of a novelty back then. Senna was the driver for McLaren. Alongside Senna was Michael Andretti. Now, he came from IndyCar in America, and from memory he didn't do too well. He was good in IndyCar, but for some reason coming over to Formula One didn't quite gel. So at the Italian Grand Prix he was replaced. I think it was the Italian Grand Prix. Yeah, I've just got notes. Italian Grand Prix, he was replaced by the test driver at the time at McLaren, and that was Mika Hakkinen. So a little bit of technology. So a little bit of information regarding that year. I've got it written down here. So Senna had 5 wins. Alain Prost, who was with Williams, was the eventual World Championship driver winner. And Williams won the team championship. In both occasions, McLaren and Senna, respectively, were runners-up. This car put around 600 to 680 brake horsepower and weighed only 505 kilograms. So I think what we'll do now is we'll jump in the car in Assetto Corsa and have a look round in the garage and just in the hangar there, and just to see how it fares. I don't have a model of this, so I was thinking of buying one, but they're just too expensive. I do collect model cars. I'm sort of running out of room, but it would only be purchased because I wanted it and for this video. It's just to pay 40 or 50 quid for a little 1/43rd scaled mini champs or Onyx or another sort of make that do Formula 1. It's just a lot of money. I could have bought a Michael Andretti one for a lot cheaper, but you know, I am a Senna fan, so if I was going to pay anything, I would have bought, you know, an Ayrton Senna car anyway. So anyhow, let me just jump in the car. Well, let me just get the car in the hangar. I'm not going to drive it just yet, and then we're going to have a look around it just to see how well it's rendered. So here we are in the hangar. As you can see, we've got the MP4-8 powered by Ford. Now, interestingly, there was an update actually that put barge boards on, which I made a point of mentioning. You can put the barge boards on or off. I'm not too sure where that is, if I'm honest. Well, look, for now, I'll see whether I can find that in a minute. But we're going to might as well look at the car whilst it's sat here. So, fantastic. I mean, it looks really good. I'm hoping it comes across like that. I noticed in my other videos of this, when I'm doing this type of filming, for some reason you couldn't quite see all the car. So I think this is widescreen, and maybe that's what happened. It cut it off, so you couldn't see, from what I can gather, you couldn't see the bottom or the top of the picture. Not too sure why that would have been. But Goodyear, anyway, Goodyear tyres. You can see they're powered by Ford, Marlboro, McLaren, absolute classic sponsors. We'll go around to the back of the car. You can see, I'm hoping you can see that. It's not going to be too low, but you can see twin exhausts. So for the V8 engine, it's got like a type of diffuser at the back. Lovely, sleek bodywork, where it sort of comes in around the back of the after the cooling radiators, and it sort of sweeps back to sort of the back end of the chassis. Another cool feature there is, I'm not going to zoom right in, but you can see the steering wheel. We've got a little control down here where we can sort of move the steering wheel around as well. So that's great. I quite like stuff like that. It's fantastic. So this is actually interestingly number 7. So I think this is Andretti. Oh, no, it's Hockenheim. I can just see his name up there. So this is Hockenheim's car. So maybe I need to pick in the sort of the Assetto Corsa garage part. I've inadvertently picked Hockenheim rather than Senna, but Senna was number 8. Number 7 there was Hockenheim. But we're looking at the detail of the car again, very simplistic. There's not a lot to it regarding nowadays. There's no winglets apart from the barge balls, which was like a new innovation back then. You can see how the suspension is sort of hidden back into the bodywork. This is one of my sort of favourite shape stroke era of Formula 1. I think I preferred the ones that had a very smaller, thinner front nose. I'm not too. I think the front wing is quite a big, large plane there, so aiming for more downforce. The rear wing's only got like 2. Well, it's got 1, 2, 3. It's got 4 separate planes, so they're getting a little bit more detailed and a little more intricate with their design. But this particular sort of sweeping back, that's the bit I like. I think that looks amazing. I don't like the ones, you know, they still got these nowadays, but they have like the shark fin that comes off. I just don't like that. There's too much emphasis on downforce. You want mechanical grip. That way you'll do away with the sort of the problem with following in the toe or whatever, basically trying to race. It wasn't too bad in 2021, but clearly they've got some radical cars for 2022, so we'll have to wait and see. So yeah, that's the car, lovely rendered. ASR Formula yet again doing a fantastic job. Now this is an update, so I had to pay for the update, fun enough. Or did I don't think I had the original beta version. I don't know, because I'm gonna have to find out, but this was the new builds. I'm just looking now. So they had a new build of the car, which I'm guessing had the barge boards on and off, from what I read. It has new physics. As I haven't driven this for a while, I probably won't know the difference in that one. New sound. So again, it's something which I can't quite compare because I don't remember driving, or if I had the original pre sort of this release. And it's got added the barge balls on and off in animation. So I don't know. I'm looking now, but I'm gonna have to sort of make sure I've picked the correct car actually. So, but anyway, that's the McLaren MP4 8 from 1993. So we're going to jump in on track. We're going to wind the clock back a little bit. 1998 track layout, and I've picked Hockenheim. So that's the original Hockenheim with the long straights, and it's pretty much flat out all the way around, apart from the odd chicane here and there. So we're going to give it a go in this car. I think it's got semi-automatic and fully automatic gear shift, so I'll be able to use my paddle shifts here. I'm gonna have to look at the setup and the settings to see which one I've got, so it won't be H pattern. I'll be back on the wheel. Hopefully I'll better use my paddle shifts. We'll see. So we'll see you on the track. So we're in the pits. We're going to take this car, McLaren MP4 8. Because it was sat in the pits at Hockenheim, now in car. You won't believe
it exits clear.
How many attempts I've done to get OBS working.
All round.
A reconnaissance lap. Talk about the car. Sounds great, looks great, feels great. Yeah, I've had a lot of issues with doing this, so I don't know. Hopefully this will work. That's flat out. Lots of traction. Well, say that. Not that much traction. Should have traction control. I think ABS, active ride, semi-automatic. Feels a great car actually. It goes to show how much better the Williams was on this day, this year. Because the McLaren and driver Senna finished runners-up on both. Right, let's try a lap. Feels good. Hopefully the tyres are warmed up now. Nice clear dash. You can see that looking into the mirrors, Looks amazing. It's absolutely flat out here now. A little bit of curb on the way out, a bit too much, but you can feel that through the force feedback really, really well. Sounds great, the V8 in my ear, amazing. More traction that time, so the tyres are warmed up a little bit. Back to the final, well, the final chicane. Bit quicker this one, third gear usually. Not going for the quickest lap ever, but just a nice positive lap. Into the stadium complex. And the nice flowing set of corners on the way out. The car does feel quite planted.
The lap time was at 1:53.20. Sector 3 time is quick.
And there we have it. So we're literally now just going to go and start the lap, the replay. I'll do it in full speed. We do miss them sounds in Formula 1. So there's not much to do here other than going flat out, but the car feels really good. Under braking, it's quite stable. You still got to be careful. The tyres do need to warm up a little bit, as we found out here, I think. A little bit squirmy under the acceleration, but that V8 is something to behold. The car feels at least like it's stuck to the tarmac, as you'd expect back then. And remember, it is 1993. You know, next year it'll be 30 years ago. Unbelievable. A very iconic car and driver, but a better team won and beat them this year with Williams. Now Williams also had all the bells and whistles, but we're talking about the McLaren MP4 8 for the ASR Formula. It's a great rendition. Sounds really, really good. And here we come across the line to stop. And there we have it. So after the umpteenth attempt of getting OBS to work, I have no idea what it was I was doing wrong. So I've changed a few settings on OBS, but I hadn't changed it from when I last used it, so I don't know what's going on there. Anyhow, I'm going to put a link to the description in this video for if you want to download or purchase and download this particular car. The tracks that I use are all on various different platforms, mainly Race Department. A lot of my tracks are from there. I don't think this one's scanned. So anyhow, finally, that's the end of the video. Hope you enjoyed this car, and I hope you enjoyed this video as well. So thank you for watching, and I shall see you next time. Bye for now.